Good morning from a windy and cold Djuma private game reserve in the Sabi Sands, South Africa. I'm Brent and I've got Scott on me with camera and Nikki is in FC. We forgot to mention that, well, I think we did, but we forgot to let Romeo say goodbye. He's off back to university today. So it's been great having him and we really appreciate him coming down. I'm sure everyone's really interested in what happened down at Twin Dams. So that's our plan for the morning. We're going to head down that way. And we apologize for the slow start this morning. Sometimes this type of weather does play havoc with our equipment. So VM's getting a well-deserved sleep in this morning. Go ahead. Copy, and in Konzo. Copy, that was the Ingwe. Okay, copy that. So a quick update that Mvula and the female he was with last night have moved south off our property. Morning, morning, morning. How are you guys doing? Any updates on your side? Lutu. Lutu. There's one more over there. But it's 2 more of us sighting now. Okay, enjoy.
Morning, everyone.
How did that happen now? Sorry, 1 second. There we go. I accidentally put my radio on scan and suddenly I was getting updates from far away. From voices I didn't recognize. So while we're heading down towards Twin Dams, so the mating pair's crossed, we'll probably try and look for the tracks of those lionesses, but also we'll head past Treehouse area and look for possibly see if Karuna moved up that way. Nice big fluffy herd of impala this morning. You can see some of them look a bit darker than the others. So what they do is that they'll raise their fur. And what happens there is that the air gets caught between their fur and their skin, and their body heat heats it up, and it creates a little insulative blanket for them. And we're going to be seeing quite a bit more of that as we head towards the dry season and the temperature drops. Look, it's got a itchy head. And as we're getting closer and closer to rutting season, what the male was doing there was marking with his pre-orbital glands. They're going to start becoming very territorial in the next month or so. During the rest of the year, most impala males are quite happy not to fight, and they don't really chase after the ladies and keep territory too much. But as soon as rutting season comes in, they become very, very protective over their harem. And shortly we're going to start hearing a lot of noise made by the impala. Well, some of them think they've seen something. The majority look quite relaxed. One female, 3 females in particular, are looking in the general direction. Oh, excuse me. Bless you all. This light can make tracking quite difficult. We don't have the sun to throw those early morning shadows on the track, so you just have to check more carefully. Go ahead. Copy, thanks. Safe trip. It's Romeo just saying goodbye over the radio. Copy, thanks. Drive safely and have a good week.
So Brent, you were saying
So I'm for which Shingala?
The mating pair, they've been from last night, so they've been found.
They were seen in Coral.
Okay.
So they've covered quite a lot of ground and they're still heading south.
Okay.
And apparently a new pride of lions, and no one's quite sure who they are, have also arrived in Coral. I was just worried it might be those lionesses that we were looking for. They might have also gone south, but apparently not. Well, we don't know. We'll see when we see the tracks. Next coming. Could you just check what Djuma left last night? Copy that. Probably do not know which direction he went from the dam, so there's a station there just trying to follow it. Copy, thanks. Changed my mind. I'm feeling this way is more lucky. Sometimes you just gotta go on gut. Good morning, Laura from Alabama. Welcome and drive with us this morning. Laura would like to know, Scott, when else have we ever encountered so many cats in such a short space of time? Or specifically like last night's drive and the night before. So last night, I think, what did we have? 5. 3 leopards and 2 lions. Laura, it does happen from time to time. These animals do share the same habitat, but it's not the lionesses have departed our Travis area. We'll probably head into the more white into the area around where Djuma was last seen, and see if we can find any tracks, or even better, find him. Apparently a couple of you are worrying about Karula, whether she's okay or safe. I'm pretty certain she's fine. She was on the opposite side to the dam from those lions, and the lions were still there when we left, and she wasn't. So I'm pretty certain she moved away without any negative effects. But you can never be 100% sure, and we don't know what happened after we left as well. But I'm pretty confident that she's fine. It didn't look like the lions came this way. I'll have a quick check around Twin Dams. It didn't look like the lions came this way. I'll have a quick check around Twin Dams. So, for those of you who weren't watching last night, a quick recap on what happened yesterday evening. So, we started out with Scott and myself actually both presenting because we're having issues with the other vehicle. So, for those of you who weren't watching last night, and while we were looking for them, so we had smoke billowing out of the vehicle. So we stopped, went straight back home. Graham took one look at it and said, "No problem, I can fix this. You guys will be out in an hour." So that's exactly what we did. And thanks to Graham again for being able to fix that so quickly. And then so we decided instead of doing a fireside chat, we would do an extended night and do the sort of fireside chat from the vehicle. And then as we were going, we passed Kunya, who was at Djuma Dam, lying in a dead tree. He came down from the dam that those leopards we've been looking for. So there was a lot of vehicles around, so we waited to turn. And as we got in there, they were coming towards Twin Dams. So we followed them to Twin Dams, we saw them drinking, and then another vehicle that was driving behind the dam wall, actually on his way home, and he said, "Oh, you found two lionesses just peeking over the dam and watching the leopards." They then chased the leopards, and they went into a tree, and also Karula was following the two leopards at a distance. Just want to make sure that the lions didn't cross anywhere around here, so I'm just going to drive slowly a little bit up the road and then down the road again. So then we had a fantastic sighting of Kwatila and Mvula in a big jackleberry tree, and then the 2 lionesses were just lying up under the dam wall. So we stayed there for quite a while, and then we went home. We were just back in the same area now. Mvula and Kwatila have been this morning, so they've moved quite far south. So we're just checking where this might have gone. They did have some fat tummies, so it is possible that they didn't move too far. Yeah, I've got a chair. Okay, well that unfortunately makes life a little bit more simple. The tracks are crossing our southern boundary. So what we're going to do is head down towards the Mulwati drainage line and slowly make our way back up towards Djuma Dam and see if we can find any tracks for Djuma. Djuma head south just to the morning, Rena, on Twitter. Rena would like to know whether that Karula would still be following Mvula and Kwatila. It is possible that she would keep following them till the end of her territory. Or because of the lions and all the pandemonium last night, she might have moved away. It's very difficult to say. I didn't see the tracks there of her crossing, but that's not to say she didn't. She could have crossed somewhere else. She could have moved further west to cross further from the lions. Which way are they going? Upstream. Alright, so here we go. So Scott's got tracks of a female leopard heading upstream. And it's unlikely to have been Kwatila because she was coming south and I drove here first thing yesterday morning. And this is where I found their tracks going to the northeast, to near where we heard them. Okay, so we'll definitely have a look around on these tracks quickly. Gonzo of heading north Mulwati from Gariman. Leopard-like stump. So the tracks went up onto this high ground to the right of us here. We're just going to keep going to see if they pop back down to the Mulwati. One thing, it is quite confusing here about all the tracks, because there were 3 leopards in this area last night, and we just passed the tree that Kwatila and Mvula were in. So we've got lots of tracks around here. We're just going to try to figure out what's going on. I'm going to have a quick look around here on foot. There's just a lot of tracks in a lot of directions. It's very interesting to try to figure out this puzzle. We've got tracks coming through here, but we've also got a whole bunch of tracks over there. Now, it's always very tricky if there's been a lot of action in one area to establish what may have gone on. And it's great what Brent's doing, just getting out, double checking, make sure he doesn't miss out on any useful information. That can be left on the ground in terms of the footprints or tracks of the animals. And once you've got an idea of the direction they're heading in, then it becomes easier, but animals will often zigzag and move around, and as you can see, it's very thick in this area, which is typical vegetation to find along a riverbed, and that obviously also makes things a little bit more difficult. So much also changes greatly at night with the predators. They could have moved off a very long distance from where we saw them last night. But while following here for these animals, we could find tracks of other animals that have moved into this area that weren't here. And by Brent being off the vehicle, he can also listen. As when the vehicle's running, you can't hear nearly as well what is going on around us, and it's often so vital for us to know what's going on around us in order to be able to hear the alarm calls of animals. Without the alarm calls of animals, we would miss out on so many sightings, and being stationary like this allows us to hear a multitude of different animals if they were to alarm call, be it monkeys or birds, baboons, or various prey antelope. Whoa! This is quite a conundrum here. There are definitely 3 different individuals tracks, but they actually cross each other. It could be that a Karula came after they left to come smell around, but there are just tracks everywhere. And on a windy morning like this, it's difficult to discern which is the most fresh. So because it looks like Mvula and Kwatila definitely came down into the drainage after they left the tree. So there's male and female tracks there. And there's a third set of female tracks that look from a different time and sniff around here, and then they cross out and then they start heading north. So we're gonna carry on the drainage, and maybe we'll see if any tracks drop back down into the drainage, and we'll just see what we can find.
Bingo.
Stations have been off my vehicle for the last 5 to 10. Any updates, please? Copy. There's one set of Wafazi and tracks. The general direction is north from Twin Dams, in the block between Twin Dams and Moati. We are going to follow up for a short walk. So the riverbed bends. It's quite possible that she's taken a shortcut to our west, and then we'll drop back down to the drainage up ahead, where it turns back to the west. Wait. Sorry guys. Whoever's talking on the radio is that giraffe kill, and the lion started roaring, so I just suddenly heard lions roaring in my ear, so I thought it was really close to us. So I was like, oh wait, what's that? Foxed by the radio. Good morning, Cindy from Tennessee. Cindy would like to know, do female leopards fight each other over territory like male leopards? Cindy, definitely, and quite often their encounters can be quite a lot more violent than male leopards. Male leopards quite often do a lot of scent marking and calling, and I've even seen 2 male leopards literally stand 5 meters away from each other on their boundary of their territory and call and scent mark and spray, but never actually come to blows. But then with a female leopard, I've actually seen her, when she found another leopard in her territory that wasn't mating, I think they sort of almost understand that the females will come out to mate. They do fight even then sometimes, but I've seen a female leopard who found a young female in her territory just absolutely ambush and beat the daylight out of the younger female, and at the end the younger female, from being hit by the other female on the face, had a burst of blood, so her eye was completely red, so just this red eye, So this is where I think she might maybe duck back into the drainage, not sure. She could change her mind completely and go a different way, but we'll check her on here. But so yes, Cindy, yeah, they do fight over territories, and sometimes it can be very, very aggressive. Okay guys, so we've worked our way up the drainage line. Unfortunately there's no tracks of that female coming back down into the drainage line, and because of the amount of tracks, and see if we can find any other tracks. I think at the moment Mvula will be ability to catch prey.
It's about 5 kilometers east of Djuma.
Okay, so far away. morning, Blair. Welcome on Drive with us this morning. Blair would like to know whether the other Matimba has joined up with the other lions on the draft hill. Blair, I haven't heard any reports of him doing that, but it's possible he might have, but I haven't heard anything. Oops. So on a cold, windy morning like this, I'm sure you guys noticed, you're not hearing many birds, we're not seeing many birds either. Sorry, we lost the map to the wind. Scott just jumped off quickly to fetch it. What did you spot? Back. That's one. Oh, great spot, Scotty. He can't be very happy this morning. A fantastic spot by Scott of a rock monitor hiding in a hole in a dead knobthorn, it looks like. So he's not going to be the happiest camper this morning being a reptile. He'll be waiting for the sun to come out.
Sorry, just playing with the settings, yeah.
would like to know, that monitor lizard, would he have climbed up the tree to look for the bird's nest or for the shelter? Well, Jeffrey, it's quite possible he did it for both. And not having found, if he didn't find something to eat in the hole, he might have decided this is a nice hole to add to his repertoire of other snoozing spots. Oh, a giraffe. He's on the move. I see you're going to get the best view. It's a big adult male giraffe with oxpeckers in tow. Now, quite interestingly, he's looking quite intently into the drainage line. Quite possibly in the same area we're coming to look for Djuma. But it doesn't look like he's actually spotted something. I think I'm just going to roll forward a meter or two, Scott. Go. Well, he's headed off into some thickets, and we're not going to go bash around and disturb him. We're going to continue on, see if we can find anything from Djuma. So apparently there's some feedback that we're freezing every now and then. We apologize, it could a lot to be to do with the cloudy and windy weather, but we are trying to fix that problem. Good morning, Joan from Little Rock. Joan would like to know if if any of the big cats ever kill monkeys. Joan, most definitely. Actually, a couple of days ago we had, although not a monkey, technically a primate, a baboon. We had a leopard feeding on a baboon, actually at this very dam we're approaching at the moment. And I have seen leopards and catch vervet monkeys, the small monkey species we get here. And then I have seen lions hunt and catch baboons as well. It was quite a funny story, the lions and the baboons. I used to work with a wonderful guide in Botswana, and we were in the sighting together, and what happened was that you got these big floodplains in the Okavango Delta where there's a termite mound, you get an island of trees, and while we were watching, pride of about 7 lions, a big troop of baboons were moving across one of these very big open areas, and the lions saw this and chased them, and the majority of the baboons, there were probably about 110 baboons in that troop, got to the edge of this open area and up into the big trees, into the forests on the edge. But 8 of them got caught in one big jackalberry and one small feverberry on a termite mound in the middle. And I can't take credit for the storytelling, even though I was in the sighting. The way Steve, the guide I worked with, told it is the best way to tell it, so I'm going to use Steve's version. So Steve now pretends to be the baboons. So you've got these 8 baboons sitting stuck in these 2 trees. There are 2 big males in a little tree, and 6 various aged baboons in the big tree. So 2 big dominant males in the little tree, the rest in the small tree, and about 100 baboons surrounding them. And as Steve says, all shouting advice. So I don't know if any of you have ever heard baboons barking. It's quite loud. Sounds sort of like wow, wow, and they make a lot of noise. So Steve's saying this is all the baboons who had got away from these the trees in the middle of the open area were shouting advice to other baboons. The one baboon was going, "There! Jump! Don't jump!" So obviously absolute pandemonium, and the baboons can get very excitable. And the lions are literally sitting right underneath the tree. If they had stayed in that tree, the lions would eventually got bored and moved away. But they were listening to their friends. Jump! Don't jump! Lion! Wah! Ah! And one jumps. And the lioness just... And about another 20 minutes later, another one jumped. And now, as I said, remember there were 2 big dominant baboons in this tiny little 7 or 8 feet high, and the rest of them were in the big jackalberry. So now the dominant baboon decides he needs to get involved because he's the dominant baboon. So he starts shaking the tree and shouting, "Stop it! Stop it!" And another lioness just runs up and jumps mid-air and hooks him with her claw out of the tree. Boom. And starts eating him. Now, eventually, all the other baboons out of the big tree, male baboon who had been sitting right next to the other guy who'd been grabbed out of the tree, he literally just did this. And he closed his eyes. And he sat there for about 3 hours, and he was the only one out of the 8 baboons that got caught in the floodplain to survive. Bit of a sidetrack, but yes, cats do eat monkeys and primates. Might be worth checking around in the drainage line. Wave at the Djuma cam. So apparently, you guys who were watching the Djuma cam says you thought he moved out towards Twin Dams Road. We're going to check it carefully now. Anything on your side there, Scotty? Nothing on my side either.
When he was travelling to and from the kill to the water, he was to our left.
Okay, so was using the...
Yeah, he was using the gate. Although the kill would have certainly been finished. Just around the next corner, you'll see where Djuma.
Apparently my baboon imitation's better than my mating leopard. I think they're equally as good as each other. Well, quick look down in the drainage line. So no trucks come out on the road. You might just be sleeping in the drainage line.
Eventually, when there were some tracks coming in here, so that eventually worked out. Here we are. I missed the boats.
I found a few traps on the ground.
The kill was just in this trail on the right.
This jack right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which way do you recommend, Scott? Left.
It comes to a dead end.
Right then.
Well, yeah, this has got a new road.
Okay. Turn around up here. this the right way out?
It's a way that people have used, but
Just have a quick look in the drainage line behind the dam. Might have headed that way, never know. Repeat. Good morning, Sam from Ohio. Sam would like to know, how old does a marula or jackalberry tree have to be for a leopard to utilize it? Well, Sam, generally needs to be quite a large adult tree if they're going to use it for storing a kill or whatnot. But saying that, it all depends on what's happening at that moment. Leopards will use younger, small trees as necessities to escape predators, or if they have a kill and there's hyena around, they'll put it up as virtually possible just to try and ensure that they do not lose the kill to the predator. So they'll use them through all ages, but generally, probably guessing, I have to look at my tree book, but I'd probably say when they utilize it for long-term sort of usage, resting, sleeping, or putting a kill, when they have a choice of trees, guess whether I don't know, actually 20 years, but I am guessing. But a jackalberry, it could even be as late as over 50 years. And they are very slow growing trees.